All right, y'all, what's up? Big day here. We are heading up to Adams. I know I've been promising this for a while, but to be honest with you, he's been real busy. Just working on other projects, which we'll ask him about when we go up there. But he is available today. It's a Friday before Christmas, and I'm gonna head up and I got two big surprises for you guys today. So this will probably be end up being two different videos, but either way, super pumped, and it involves an update on both the MR2 and the Evo, and they are major updates, folks. So let's do this and head up to Huntley, Illinois. So it's gonna take us about 45 minutes. It's in the middle of nowhere, so I'll spare you guys the ugly drive and in the winter in Chicago. So let's just snap our fingers and get there. All right, we're back at Adam's place, and I guess the big update is two of his problem cars are gone. The Trailblazer was here for a while, right, Adam? Yeah. Over a year is finally adios.
9 months, yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. So yeah, he's drove out
on a trailer.
Did you dyno it or no?
No, it's gonna go on a dyno in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. So you just did all the fabrication and like putting it together basically, and getting it running. Yeah. Nice. So what do you have going on? What's new in your world? We haven't seen you in 3 weeks. You got 3 Evos and a Subaru. What are you doing to these guys?
Motor, this one.
The Subaru blew up?
Yeah. Spun a rod bearing, kind of common.
That's common on these, yeah.
So IAG motor.
Yeah. Oh, those are the big guys in California, right?
Out on, I want to say they're on the East Coast, but I
can't. East
I don't
Coast?
Mess that up. Yeah,
okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
I could be wrong too. So I think
just one of the big Subaru people, though. Yeah, I know they're big. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's getting a big Borg. Well, 63 mil billet Borg.
Wow. Okay.
Pipes, and it's a WRX, so it's getting a SDI manifold, injectors.
Nice.
Fuel, blah blah blah. Blah
yeah.
You know.
Nice. Cool. What's the silver Evo? What are you doing to this guy?
Link, one of those.
Oh, really? You're doing a link in it? That's cool.
Yep.
So starting to do more of that in these cars?
Yeah, no, a good amount of them.
Nice. So that's a computer. So for the folks out there that don't know, who makes Link, the company? Is that the company?
Link ECU, yeah. It used to be Vipec.
I was going to say Vipec, yeah.
And I believe it's the fella from Tronic from back in the day.
Yeah, Tronic, right? Back in the day. That's what I thought. And that was really common when the early 2000s, late 90s, Tronic. I remember that, right?
Big on the rally cars.
Yeah, because I lived in Colorado, so there's a lot of Subaru shops that did rally car stuff out there.
Yeah.
In Boulder.
It had fuck all for ability to put stuff in it, kind of thing, on like the new ECUs. Mm-hmm. But the thing always worked. It did exactly what it was meant to do
for its day.
And it did it beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's,
that's cool. So that's what that guy's doing, is building that. So what are we doing with these two? Is that your buddy's car, right, Adam?
Yeah, that's a fellow named Steve.
So what's the latest on the sequential shifter badass?
Honestly, nothing. It's set for 2 weeks on the lift. Subaru took about a week worth of my time.
Nice.
Then there was another car, actually, that Audi that's outside.
Oh yeah, the engine. You had the engine pulled last time we were here. Those things stink because they're so hard.
Yeah,
the working space too.
Exhaust and just everything about that car just sucks. I'm sorry for people that own those cars.
Yeah, I know.
That thing used to be like a $50,000 car. It tanked. I mean, the thing is worth $2 grand.
Yeah.
$15,000 worth of parts in a $2,000.
Well, the parts are still expensive. They're hard to work on.
$2,500. You got to pull the motor. It's
just my guys used to work on them and hated working on those.
The thing has 50,000 miles, and every 5,000 miles, it seems like it needs $5 grand worth of parts.
Leaking oil everywhere. Yeah. And then there's like a rally car or something right here.
That's going to be a Temitech car. Yeah. Well,
he's doing grid life or no?
He's talking about it, but I don't know.
Looks like it needs a little more work than mine.
Oh, it's a shell with a cage in it.
Oh, it doesn't have an engine either?
Motor is actually in the other garage with the trans.
Oh, you do have a motor though for it?
Yeah, there's, nothing here.
It's a little rough.
It started as a shell.
Just a roller. Nice.
That's gonna be a summer, or fall. Goddamn, spring project.
Yeah, we're just getting into the meat of winter, and I'm shaking here as I hold the camera. It's fucking cold in here. Well, I'm a weenie. I only have a t-shirt on underneath. I should have dressed better and put a sweatshirt on. Okay, so that's cool. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I think that's our motor over here, right, Adam?
Yeah, the motor. Yeah,
so this right here is the motor for the
MR2.
MR2, yeah. And this is I'll link the video for those of you that didn't see it. But this is the motor that where did we get it? JDM Import Japan or something like that. JDM Japan out of New York. And so this is a K24A2.
For you guys that's gonna order it, I set this on a different pallet. It came on another pallet it broke all the way through. I looked through it. It doesn't look bad, but I mean, the motor seems all right. They just their quality
shipping wasn't so
rough.
good.
Maybe it could use a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this thing was just sitting in there sideways. And,
okay. And so this is the TSX motor, or the equivalent to the TSX motor, because it did come from Japan, so it doesn't have the EGR ports. But really, there's minor differences outside of that. It does come with it looks like the wiring harness isn't too hacked up, right, Adam?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is.
I was looking at this one first. Sorry, I was focused on that one. Never mind.
Yeah, they just
so they just cut it off.
Yeah.
But are you missing anything? Let's talk about what you're missing or what you think of the engine, I guess, overall.
I have no idea. I mean, I'm jumping into this as a new thing for me as well. So
yeah, Adam's not a big Honda guy, so
yeah, this is like fucking putting a LS in the Hemi here.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I don't want to talk about it because I really don't know too much about it. So.
But in terms of the general condition of the motor, from a mechanic standpoint,
nothing looks broken on it.
Obviously, it needs a belt.
It'll probably need to call out a few things, but
what are you thinking it'll need?
Well, I mean, a water pump. We're gonna put this motor apart, so all the the bearings are gonna get changed. The oil pump is gonna most likely stay the same,
unless we think it needs to be done.
Unless we upgrade it to a bigger one, and that's something that we're gonna have to do some research on.
Well, some of the guys I already did research for us. Some of the guys do, and Honda guys. Once again, we're not Honda guys comment, but what I researched was they do the the K20 A2 RSX Type S oil pump, or the S2000 oil pump, which is a factory oil pump that's it spins to 9,000 RPM from the factory.
Oh, I see.
So they're saying what happens is this motor, if we want to spin it in the higher RPMs, this is when that one starts to fail.
Oh, okay. Well,
and where they recommend the K20 or S2000, and there's adapter plates to fit it up to this motor.
I see. Okay. Oh, that's brilliant.
So yeah, so
most likely a larger oil pen.
You think so?
Also makes one, and the reason why is because these things are meant to do 200 horsepower on the launch. I don't know what this thing will do as far as oil slush.
Can we throw a baffle in it though?
If they
I'm positive there's baffles out there, because there's guys that also reverse the way they mount, where they do it longitudinal or whatever, depending on the app.
Oil lubrication might be an issue, but that's as long as it's been.
So basically, it's basic stuff: a belt, water pump, possibly the oil pump. I think we'll probably do. Pull off the valve cover, see how everything looks in there.
Are we doing? You said
pull off the oil pan.
Pistons, or are we gonna keep?
I want to put this in the motor. I want to put it in the car first, just get it running, put the Link computer on it. I literally want to unopen this thing, just replace like maintenance.
We spoke about that couple.
Yeah, that was the initial plan. Adam's not wrong. That was the initial plan, guys. But I think at this point, what we're going to do is just throw this in there as is, replace the maintenance stuff, like he said, the belt, the water pump, the oil pump. We'll see if the alternator charge is okay.
Just see what kind of issues we're going to run into. Yeah,
we're going to pull the AC off anyways.
I don't know.
Yeah, these are supposed to be pretty good, but we can obviously pull the valve cover off and see how the cams and everything look. But I mean, on the outside, no offense, it looks pretty dang good, and I don't think they cleaned it. You think they cleaned it?
Yeah, they do. Because we used to get motors that are 20 years old, and there's not, you know what I mean? Those things.
I always wondered about that.
After 10 years, they start to seep a little bit here and there. Not necessarily dripping, but I mean, they're just dirty. These things come like they're fucking brand new. After 15 years.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
Yeah, they got some chemicals that they spray on it and then power wash it.
And then pressure wash it. Okay.
And I'm sure that's done in Japan before it even gets out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's it. So once again, guys, this is a K24A2. I'll reference the other video. This is a 200 horsepower motor from the factory. It is dual overhead cam, VTEC on the intake and exhaust cam, and it's supposed to be forged crankshaft, from what I understand and read up on, and it also has a little bit stronger pistons and rods than the base K24 that came in some of the cheaper cars. So that's what we're going to do. Adam, I don't know, could you pull out the laptop? I don't know if you need to pull it out and kind of give them a high-level overview of what Link's all about, which I know...
Standalone.
So it is a standalone, it's not a piggyback.
No, it fully replaces it. I got a bunch of sensors wired into this thing: oil pressure, fuel pressure, ethanol, secondary pumps. So I mean, it bypasses. This fella has a bunch of gauges, but he had them before, and it has a bunch of safeties that you built yourself, I suppose.
Which the stock computer can't give you, right?
Yeah, there's nothing on the stock computer that you can
do. Let's take a quick time. Take a time. So Adam's just got he lives out in the country, so he's got the sewer and septic tank guy here. So, but either way, I'm pretty pumped, guys, with the Honda motor here overall. I think it looks pretty clean to myself. Why don't you guys comment below? Obviously, like Adam said, we may need to replace some of the accessories. We probably will, spark plugs, things like that. But it doesn't appear to be leaking too badly from anywhere. But once again, it's probably cleaned off is what he's saying. So either way, we'll pick this back up in a second here when he gets back inside. But I hope you guys are liking this. Please give it a big thumbs up if you are. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel, and we will have quite a few updates throughout the Christmas holiday season 2018. Like I said, I'll have an update on the MR2, which you guys are seeing right now. We're also going to talk about the Evo pretty quick here. And then we also might do something with the truck today too. So I should have at least 3 videos for you over the next week. So make sure you're tuning in and got that bell turned on. But I'll check back in when he gets back in here. All right, ready? All right, so Adam's back. And so basically we're talking about safety parameters and the additional things that it will give you over a factory computer.
Yeah, factory does what it controls the injectors and timing and etc. And does that beautifully. But then there's other pressure sensors that you could add, like, you know what I mean, losing oil pressure on them again, fuel pumps failing, wideband, full wideband control. Those are things that just aren't there in the stock ECU. And the thing about this, though, the bad part is that it will never pass emissions. It's not a big deal. Put the stock ECU back in there, you know.
We may not even register the car anymore if it's
depends where you live.
Yeah.
But electric throttle, which is quite great because now you don't have to run those giant throttle bodies that are like an on-off switch, and
cool.
You know, the drivability of this thing is fucking.
You do boost by gear and things like that.
Boost by gear.
Anti-lag, we don't need that, but stuff like stuff like that.
All the motorsports, the launch control, gear cut, flash, wide open throttle,
flat foot shift.
Yeah, and it works as it's meant to, not like
you're tricking the factory computer.
Exactly, not hacked stock, you know.
So that's really cool, guys, for anybody out there that has experience with stock computers or aftermarket.
And they do the thing, you know what I mean? If somebody's clever enough, there's clearly, I mean, cars out there that has done 900,000 horsepower in the stock ECU.
There's a lot of people like stock computers.
Yes, but then there's the gray area where everybody else lives, and that ECU like that or AEM or other ECUs will make this thing enjoyable versus a complete pile of shit to drive on, you know.
I think the biggest thing for me too, guys, is I have a lot of money now, as you guys know, invested in the car. So for me, it's like protecting your investment.
It is, yeah, exactly.
So getting it to run right consistently.
Exactly. This thing loses oil pressure, will start cutting down boost along with RPMs, as well as fuel, which is the 2 major things. The rest of it, you know, the obvious coolant and all that
boost,
stuff.
But for drag racing cars like the MR2, because like we said, the MR2 is going to get this.
Yeah, and it has
the boost by gear will be great. The anti-lag, the launch control,
and
all
those are
that
parameters
crap.
that you create yourself. And
can you do it by RPM? So if you see a lot of wheels spinning first and second, you could literally bring more boost on later.
There's a couple different ways of doing it, and it's honestly on the user, how clever the user is. He can make that work. So it's not just a certain parameter that you're stuck with. You know,
different ways you could skin the cat.
By speed,
nice.
Oh my god,
so it's Windows based, obviously. Can you do anything cool in terms of like that? If I was at the track, say in Atlanta, and you weren't there, would I be able to send you maps and you could make adjustments? What do they call that? Where you would just take over my computer, Team viewer, like we do at work, and you could just make changes from here, right?
Yeah.
And so that stuff, like, we're not doing on the.
Yeah, this is
cool shit that we're just not.
Small people never think about or even have a capability.
But we need to think about it now because we're trying to win this shit.
Yeah, and it's all CAN bus. It's got 2 CAN bus networks in there. So I mean, one is for the dash itself that you could do, and then the widebands and all kinds of sensors.
Yeah.
Fucking lambda. Oh my god.
All that stuff. You can monitor each individual cylinder if you wanted, right?
Yes, yeah. And that point is how much money you want to throw at it.
So that's the Link computer. So what do those typically cost for the MR2, Adam, to get that put in? So
I'm not sure if there's a plug-and-play deal.
We don't know if there's a harness.
I don't know if there is one. I know. So
it depends on wiring, how much wiring he'll have to do.
Well, there won't be one. I'm sorry. There will not be one because
we're doing a Honda motor.
We're going to build our own harness from the engine.
From this one, though, you're going to use the existing harness on this engine you were saying right here?
Well, if I can, yes, but most likely not because it's been chopped up and all.
You don't have enough of it left is what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think so. Plus, honestly, the only couple sensors that we're going to use here, the injectors aren't going to stay dose type anyhow. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do those billet special
the new ones that you're liking?
Atomizers, yeah.
Cool.
I'll write them on the car and they work flawlessly. They're giant.
From a tuning perspective?
So plugs like, VTEC
sensors
plugs and sensors,
yeah.
Those can be bought aftermarket, very good quality, and they'll join at that point. So
okay, cool.
We're gonna do something like that, and as well as the throttle body. We're not stuck running whatever
which is
throttle body comes with it.
Yeah.
So
it is a little bit bigger, but we'll still probably eventually have the bigger one with the sweet manifold that I want to run.
Well, it's going to be obviously different manifold.
But out of the gate right now, we're just gonna, like Adam said, we're just
82 mil, I believe, off of a stock Hemi.
yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
Those are 3.5 inches. We're never going to use it. So
yeah,
I mean,
you got them laying around the shop everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Those things rarely
That's a great.
break. So.
And so the whole point of that, I think, some people may not pick up on that, but what Adam's saying is with the stock computer, there was no way you could throw a Hemi throttle body on this Honda motor.
We can mix match so much shit together.
It just doesn't matter.
And the computer is able to, as long as you program.
Because all those individual sensors that it's reading, once again, that we're adding to the car, which totally makes sense to me. Okay, so that's the update on Project MR2. In terms of time frame, honestly, you guys, it's probably going to be a slow project just because the Evo is for sure my top priority. So if you're not an Evo fan, I apologize. You should be. Adam, right? Isn't it awesome? Yeah. That type of motorsports is unbelievable. So I hope you guys get into it.
All
I know
the other cars are cool, but there's just something about Evo,
and the road racing
on the track and toss it around in half an hour.
Not just doing highway pulls here and there.
It's like, I'm sorry, but they're gay. It's just
So we're pretty pumped about that. So with that being said, it's I'd say the next 3 months at some point we'll have it in the car and we'll start getting the computer on it. So it's going to be slow updates. We'll order all the accessories, do our homework on what we need to do to get it wired up to the link. And I think there'll be a lot of getting it prepped here as it sits on the engine stand pretty quick
here.
here.
Is going to get all the accessories to mount up.
Yeah, and get all your sensors that you need for link.
Sensors are going to be simple.
Okay, cool. That's good.
Those are pretty straightforward. Plus, there's the biggest problem with any ECU is triggers. For the cam and the crank, and
which is showing some of that stuff right there.
It's a pretty clever ECU. It's done V10 BMWs and
everything
and Mercedes stuff. So
this is a pretty simple setup. Inline 4.
It's not like you got to create your own or scale your own sensors. I mean, they already have a drop box with all.
Because it's such a common motor and application, which is cool. So that's update on Project MR2. So once again, we will have an Evo update, which will be another video. So hope you guys watch that. We're going to switch gears to that right now. But hopefully you guys are into this. Please help me get the MR2 thing going so we can pick up sponsors and make this thing cooler than just a stock motor next year. So obviously we're going to have the turbo kit like I talked about it, and Adam's going to build that. But we would like to build the motor and really go for it if we had help from vendors. So with that being said, appreciate you guys, and we're going to jump into the Evo video. We'll talk to you soon on that one.